set free now from my past by your love that's everlasting. I'm not ashamed of who you are. I know what I believe. You bled and died for me. It's your grace that sets me free, yeah. I'm not ashamed of who you are. I know what I believe. And every day now that I live, I'm thankful for the cross. When there was nothing left to give, still you gave for me your all. It's grace that saves and sets me free. Your love has made a way for me. I'm not ashamed to lift my hands and sing. My Savior hung upon that tree, and all I am I owe to thee. I'm not ashamed to lift my hands and sing.
And he that lays down his life, greater love has no man. Greater love has no man. Greater love has no man. And he that lays down his life, greater love has no man. Greater love has no man. Greater love has no man.
Jesus took our place on the cross. This is what we as believers never get over. We know ourselves. We know we can never deserve what he has given so freely. We are captured by his love and held by his tender goodness.
Revelation 4:8 says, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God the Almighty, the one who always was, who is, and who is still to come. This is our declaration of devotion to Him today.
You have no rival, you stand alone. The heavens worship before your throne. There is no one like you. You have no equal, your kingdom reigns. Yours is the highest of every name. There is no one like you. Almighty, we're standing in the presence of your majesty. You're holy, you alone, the sovereign crown of royalty. You're the King of kings, Almighty. God eternal, the great I am, the voice of angels will never end. There is no one like you. Eyes like fire, face like the sun, a voice like thunder, who was and is to come. Oh, God Almighty, Almighty, we're standing in the presence of your majesty. You're holy, you alone, the sovereign crown of royalty. You're the King of kings, Almighty. I see the Holy One, high and exalted. I close my eyes and I tremble before Him. I tremble before Him. I see the Holy One, high and exalted. I close my eyes and I tremble before Him. I tremble before Him.
name is Rebecca Harper, and it's been an honor this year serving as the Luminary Chair for the first time in this year's Relay for Life Riverbend. My experience and reason why I'm here is because of my cousin Charmaine, who passed away in 2006, 2 days before Relay. And I've been involved in and out since for the past 3 years with Dave and the committee, and it's been an honor to do this year. Please respect the Luminary ceremony by remaining silent throughout so everyone can take in this precious moment to reflect on our journey and remember those who we have lost and are fighting, and those who are winning. We all wish upon the day when we can finally have a cure for cancer, that we can walk in celebration together, that no one will die from that disease ever again. We call your attention to the small table that occupies a place of dignity and honor. It is set for one, symbolizing the fact that some of our loved ones are missing from this gathering. They have been diagnosed with cancer, and they are some of the names and faces behind the luminaries. The chair is empty. Many of those who fought the battle with cancer are no longer with us, but rather than mourning their loss, we choose to celebrate their life. These people are unable to be with us, their loved ones and families now, so let us join together and recognize and honor them, and bear witness to their struggle and their memory. The table is small, symbolizing the frailty of the single patient, sometimes alone in the fight against his or her disease. The tablecloth is white, symbolic of the medical profession, doctors, nurses, researchers, who help fight the battle for life. The roses in the vase signifies the enduring love of their families and friends, and the strength of patience will to fight and the disease that ultimately claimed many of them. My purple ribbon represents the ribbons worn on the lapels of millions who support a continued search for the cure. The slice of the lemon on the table, on the plate, reminds us of the bitter battle against a deadly disease, a battle fought for more than 1.3 million new patients every year. The salt sprinkled on the plate reminds us of the countless tears and personal anguish shed by the patient and those shed by the family members and the friends who have lost a loved one. The glass is inverted in memory of those people who are not here to join our celebration and successes. But the candle centerpiece represents the light of hope that lives in the hearts of all of us. Hope represented by cancer survivors. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Hope represented by cancer survivors, and a wish that a cure is discovered as a result of the detailed work of the medical profession made able through funds generated through events such as this Relay for Life. Now I would like to introduce you to our caregiver speaker for the ceremony, Christina Johnson.
My name is Christina Johnson, and I'm going to talk about what pulled me out of the dark, what broke the darkness and brought me into the light. For even in the darkness, there is light. It all started on February 14th, 1994. My mom went to see the doctor. Didn't know the reason why. My mom had all of us kids come to the table because we need to talk and it couldn't wait. With tears in her eyes, she said, "I have breast cancer." All I could hear was death, and darkness was suffocating me. She said, "If I make it 5 years, I will be cancer-free. I will have to remove my left breast." A month later, my mom had her left breast removed, and then she started chemo, losing her beautiful hair, and she was tired all the time, but she never complained once. Starting high school should be the beginning of the 4 best years of my life, but I was living in the dark. I went to school only because I didn't have a choice. It was hard being a freshman with a sick mom, seeing all the other moms with their daughters, and everyone asking, "Where's my mom?" and why she was sick. I was bullied because my great aunt and grandma took me places and showed up at activities instead of my mom. I fell into a deep depression, and cancer treatment had taken the only person I could talk to. I felt like nobody cared. As I fell deeper into this depression, I started smoking a pack a day and eating very little. Sometimes I would have to force myself to eat. I had no desire to live. I just wanted the nightmare to end. My mom set me up on a date with Chris. We started dating. I think my mom didn't want me home. I believe she didn't want me to see her in pain and didn't want me to remember her that way. She wanted me to enjoy high school. My mom did good for 1 year, and then darkness returned in August. She found a bug bite and went to the doctor to have it checked out. All she told us was that she's starting a high dose of radiation and chemo. The darkest hour was coming faster. The next 2 weeks, there were many changes. I didn't know what was happening. I just knew it wasn't good. My aunt and grandma were not acting right, like they were hiding something from me. And then my mom came home from treatment and was using a walker, and they said, she's just sick. And the next treatment, she was in a wheelchair. Still no one would tell me what was going on. The next thing I knew, she was in a hospital bed. We had a nurse coming to our house, and then she was in a coma. Still no answer. My mom's best friend, Gloria Harm, was a nurse and said, honey, you need to tell your mom everything you need to. And that's when I found out she's dying. I sat there holding her hand, telling her how much I love her, watching as the tears flowed down my face. She couldn't speak, but I could tell she was listening. When I thought my heart could not break anymore, I did what I was told, and I sat there holding her hand. As she stood, her last breath and heart stopped. I felt numb. My heart was broken into 100 pieces. I felt ashamed. I should have been a better daughter. Fear said hide away. Shame said wear those chains. I felt guilty, lied to me, and I believed everything. On September 2nd, at 10:50 p.m., my mom left the world. I just held tightly to her hand as they dragged me away. I stayed at Gloria's house that night, and she held me tight, and I cried myself to sleep. At the showing, I wouldn't let go of her hand as over 600 people came through. After the funeral, I just felt empty, that there was no life left in me. I just wanted to stay in the darkness. The first year, I tried to end my life. After school, I went to my grandma's house, and I took a knife and I put it to my chest. I called my friend Ann and said, I just wanted to end. She immediately came over and took the knife away. But that didn't stop me. I became more reckless. I tried to total my car. I wanted it to end. But again, God's grace saved me. But at the time, I didn't recognize it was God working. I was in a deep depression, and I wanted to stay there. I wouldn't let anyone get close to me. I was afraid of losing them and having to deal with the pain again. Then, 18 years later, I was online when I saw Pastor Jeremy Robinson collapse. And that's when I felt God nudging me to come back to church. I went back shortly after that and gave my life to Christ. Ginger and Jeremy was standing up there with me and asking God to forgive me how I was living. God pulled me out of the darkness, and I let His light shine on me. But this time I got it right. I went back to church. I stayed connected. My faith came stronger as I watched my pastor fight for his life with kidney cancer. Seeing Pastor Jeremy never waver in his faith was when I found God. Jeremy was fighting a battle, but never gave up. Ginger was helping me with scriptures and telling me how much I was loved and how much God loved me. Ginger taught me Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and not lean on your own understanding. Submit your ways to Him and He'll make a path straight. God uses the rebellion and the prodigal, the humble, and the weak. He pulls us out of our mess and uses the broken things. At a women's conference, Ginger said, I have a deep conversation with you. She said, God's calling you to be involved in cancer. With God's help, I have placed third, second, and first place individual for the Relay for Life. Last year, I was a Luminary chair, and none of this would have been possible without God. Now that my chains have been broken, I have so much love in my life from my church and my friends. My best friend Teresa lost her mom to breast cancer. We lean on each other. Sometimes I don't have the answer, but I have a shoulder to cry on, an ear to listen. God brought us together to help each other out. Katie is like a sister to me. She's 15, so I'm getting to act like a teenager and do the things I missed out on. Kim, Rhonda, Josh, and many more have had lots of spiritual influence on my life. When the wall came down, I was able to love and not be afraid of others in my life. Life's about love and not being afraid to love back. Right now, I'm getting my master's degree in ministry study. I want to be involved in the lives of youth and share the beauty God has made out of my ashes. In life, it's about relationships. If you need to forgive someone, do it now and not wait. Make it right. Pain has a way of clipping our wings and keeping us from being able to fly. When I was able to love God, then I could love people. I am enough, and I'm fearfully, wonderfully made. I was in a deep depression until I found God and could see the light. Through my scars, I share the love of God. Share my story at church, Living the Light TV show, and with you all here tonight. I will continue to reflect on God's light. When all you see is pain, you lose sight of God. Psalms 147:3. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. God can restore what is broken and change it all into something amazing. All you need is faith. Scars can change the world. Scars can set me free. We don't know if we have tomorrow, but we do have whatever time we have been given to live our purpose. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you, Christina, for your story. We now honor and remember Carol Abudili, and I do apologize if we mispronounce anyone's name. It's not intentional. Sherry Antoine, Debbie Arnett, Kenny Arnold, Betty Arnold, Junior Lefty Ayers, Jeffrey Baker, Jerry Baker, Charmaine Barnett, Sandy Beatty, Donna J. Beckham, Dave Bennett, Eden Mae Bisker, Dean Blackburn, Melinda Bach, Madeline Botigla, Diane Boyer, Etsuko, I'm so sorry if I messed that up, Boslinski, Brent Boss, Paula Brooks, Nancy Brown, Tom Brown, Jane Brooker, Robert M. Brooker, Helen Bruns, Charles Buffington II, Linda Bunker, Mel Bunting, Lula Carter, Sandy Carter, Charles Lambert, Doris Cobb, Edwin Cobb, Donald Cobb, Robbie Cook, Denny Davis, Ann Dew, Chester Dillback, Susan DeSalvo, Virginia Durbin, Keith Durham, Barb Durham, Alice Dvorak, Joe Dvorak, Linda Funk, Paula Gebeline, Tristan Gearing, Rose Gillian, Jean Gillian, Bonnie Grainer, Sue Greer, Linda Greer, David Hamilton, Jacqueline Hamilton, Wilbur Hamilton, Dorothy Hanner, the Harballs, Dr. Donald Hartbeck, Gary Hardin, Odie Hill, Andrea Hoops, David Hoops, B. Huber, Jeannie Huddleston, John Hunter, David S. Ilch, Thomas Johnson, Jeannie Joliffe, Sharon Kinzel, Fred Kinzel, Karen Cribbs, Harvey Cruz, Edna Cruz, Albert Cruz, Lynn Kuhn, Ron Kuhn, Mary Ellen Kuhn, John Lands, Mabel Lee, Amy Light Palmer, Thomas Lee Lockhart, Shirley M., Marge Malone, Debbie Marshall, Candace Martin, Nancy Masser-Sewell, Dorothy Masterson, Heather Mayhew, Ed McBride, Megan McClintock Malloy, Sherry McCormick, Eleanor McGuire, Joe Myers, Danny Miller, Barb Miller, Carolyn Miser, Kristen Morris, Mildred Newingham,
Roger Owens, Marcella Panic, Karen Pearson, Rick Phillips, Helen Redden, Bill Rankin, Harriet Rankin, Judy Richardson, Harold Romaline, Paula Roth, Gary Ruff, Rose Ruff, Dave Sadich, Angela Sarandis, Harold Schroeder, Velma Schroeder, Bill Shooting, June Swearjohn, Fran Shane, Terry Shirley, Jan Sneed, Mary Spencer, Stella Lawson, Lauren Stevenson, Darty Steve, Ron Steve, Zachary Stumpf, Marcella Swinney, Scott Thompson, Robert Thompson, Grandpa Bill Thompson, Beverly Timmons, John Ulrich, Uncle John Ulrich, John C. Van Dusen, Les Ververs, Karen Walker, Jenny Wallace, Daryl Waters, Burdell Big Watts, Jane Watts, Carlene Wayman, Drew Webb, Sue Wells, Janet Wiegand, Dennis Wiegand, Sue Wilm, Rose Zayden, Bev Zeisis Timmons, Ralph Zare, Gene Zimmerman, Kevin Zimmerman, all those that have been touched by cancer. The Camp family.
Before we close this ceremony, Encounter has one more song they're going to sing for us.
How will we respond to what Jesus did on that tree of mercy? Will we stand with those who demand more proof that he is the Son of God? Or join with those who heap scorn upon him? Will we sit and simply watch him die? Or will we cry out in faith, Lord, remember me when you come into your kingdom, and declare, surely this was the Son of God.
There's a place where mercy reigns and never dies. There's a place where streams of grace flow deep and wide, where all the love I've ever found comes like a flood, comes flowing down. It was at where you gave us a comfort, where you gave us peace. I'm in awe of you, Lord. Where your blood came down to save me. I owe you everything. Oh, Jesus, because you died for me and opened the door, I owe it all to you.
All
invite you to spend 10 minutes in silence, walking the track, reflecting on each bag that has a name on it and glows in the night.